in the middle of the Nevada desert, where temperatures scorch above 100 degrees and miles of emptiness stretch in every direction. There is a place that officially doesn't exist. No signs, no public access, no explanations, and yet everyone knows its name: Area 51. This secretive military base has been at the center of conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, and one chilling question: what are they hiding? Is it experimental technology, top-secret weapons, or something not from this world? Tonight, we begin the journey into one of the most mysterious locations in human history. Because the truth about Area 51 is far stranger than fiction. Before it became a legend, Area 51 was just empty land. In the early 1950s, during the height of the Cold War, the United States faced a terrifying reality. The Soviet Union was watching, and America needed eyes in the sky. That's when the CIA began searching for a remote testing location somewhere hidden, isolated, and impossible to spy on. They found it in Nevada, a dry lake bed called Groom Lake, surrounded by mountains, miles away from civilization, perfect for secrecy. This is where Area 51 was born. The first major project at Area 51 wasn't aliens. It was a plane, but not just any plane. The U-2 spy plane could fly higher than anything before it over 70,000 feet, so high that commercial pilots and civilians began reporting strange objects in the sky. Objects that moved silently, hovered unnaturally, and seemed otherworldly. The government knew the truth, but instead of revealing it, they let people believe something else, something far more mysterious: UFOs. By the late 1950s and 60s, reports of unidentified flying objects exploded across America. Civilians, pilots, even military personnel, they all described similar things: bright lights, impossible speed, unnatural movement. And many of these sightings happened near Nevada, near Area 51. Was it coincidence, or was something happening behind those guarded gates? Then came the incident that changed everything. Roswell, New Mexico, a mysterious object crashes. The military quickly steps in. At first, they claim it's a flying disc. Then suddenly, they change the story. It was just a weather balloon. But witnesses didn't believe it, and rumors began spreading. What if it wasn't a balloon? What if it wasn't from Earth? And more importantly, where did the wreckage go? Many believe it was transported to Area 51. For decades, the U.S. government denied Area 51 even existed. No records, no acknowledgement, nothing. Until 2013, that's when declassified CIA documents finally confirmed Area 51 was real. But even then, they only admitted to aircraft testing. No mention of UFOs. No mention of alien technology. And that silence only made the mystery grow louder. Because if Area 51 was only about planes, then why all the secrecy? Why the armed guards? Why the restricted airspace? Why the decades of denial? And why do so many insiders claim they saw something not human? What if someone actually worked inside Area 51? What if they saw everything? Not rumors, not theories, but the truth. In 1989, a man stepped forward. He didn't just make claims. He told a story so detailed, so specific, that it shook the world. His name, Bob Lazar. And according to him, the U.S. government isn't just hiding advanced technology, they're hiding alien spacecraft. In November 1989, a local Las Vegas TV station aired an interview with a man whose face was hidden, his voice distorted. He called himself Dennis, but soon his real identity would be revealed. Bob Lazar, a physicist at least, that's what he claimed. According to Lazar, he'd been recruited to work at a secret facility near Area 51. Not inside Area 51 itself, but somewhere even more hidden. A place called S-4. Lazar. Described S4 as a facility built into the side of a mountain, near Groom Lake, completely concealed. From the outside it looked like nothing but desert rock, but inside he claimed there were 9 flying discs, 9 unidentified spacecraft, each one different in design, each one not made by humans. According to Lazar, his job wasn't to build them, it was to reverse engineer them, to figure out how they worked. Lazar described technology that sounded impossible, a propulsion system, powered by something called Element 115, an element that, at the time, wasn't even officially recognized by science. He claimed this element could generate gravity waves, allowing the craft to bend space and time. Not fly, but move. By warping reality itself, no engines, no wings, no sound, just sudden acceleration and disappearance. Exactly like the UFO sightings people had reported for decades. But Lazar didn't stop at technology. He made an even more shocking claim. According to documents, he briefly saw these crafts weren't just machines, they were extraterrestrial in origin. He even claimed the government referred to the beings as EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities. Lazar said he never directly interacted with them, but he believed, at some point, the US government had. After Lazar went public, everything changed. His academic records, gone. No proof he attended MIT. No proof he worked where he claimed. His past, erased. Government agencies denied everything. Skeptics called him a fraud. But supporters asked a different question. How could someone fake a story this detailed? And more importantly, why would the government try to erase him? Lazar claimed he knew when test flights would happen. He took friends out into the Nevada desert late at night, and they watched. Lights in the sky, moving in ways no aircraft should. Hovering, then shooting off at impossible speeds. Some of these moments were even recorded. Blurry, grainy, but real enough to raise questions to this day. Bob Lazar remains one of the most controversial figures in the Area 51 story. Critics say there's no solid evidence, no credentials, no proof. But supporters argue his story has never changed. His descriptions match modern UFO sightings. And some of his claims, like Element 115, eventually became real scientific discoveries. So, what is the truth? Is Lazar a whistleblower, or one of the greatest storytellers of all time? Because if Bob Lazar is telling the truth, then everything we thought we knew is wrong. That means the government has been hiding alien technology for decades. That means we are not alone. And that means Area 51 is just the beginning. What if the most advanced technology on Earth didn't originate on Earth? For decades, the United States has led the world in military innovation, stealth aircraft, hypersonic weapons, unseen surveillance systems. But some believe these breakthroughs didn't come from human genius alone. They came from something else, something recovered, studied, and secretly rebuilt. What if Area 51 isn't just testing aircraft, but copying them? Reverse engineering is simple in theory. You take a finished piece of technology, break it apart, and try to understand how it works. But what happens when the technology you're studying was never meant for humans? According to insiders like Bob Lazar, that's exactly what was happening at facilities near Area 51. Scientists weren't inventing, they were decoding, trying to unlock systems so advanced. They defied known physics. Lazar described a propulsion system unlike anything ever built. No fuel, no combustion, no thrust. Instead, the craft used gravity itself. He claimed the vehicle could generate its own gravitational field, then distort space-time around it. Imagine folding space, so the destination comes to you instead of moving forward. You pull reality toward you. That's why UFOs appear to instantly accelerate, change direction without slowing down, vanish, without a trace, because they're not flying, they're bending space. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because while alien technology remains unproven, secret military projects, those are very real. Take the SR-71 Blackbird. In the 1960s, it could fly over Mach 3, so fast that enemy missiles couldn't catch it. Or the F-117 Nighthawk, a stealth aircraft designed to be nearly invisible to radar. When people first saw these planes, they thought they were UFOs because they looked impossible. So the question becomes, how many UFO sightings were actually top-secret human technology? And how many weren't? There's a problem researchers keep coming back to: a gap, a massive leap between known human technology and reported UFO capabilities. Even today, the most advanced jets can make 90-degree turns at high speed. Can accelerate instantly without G. Killing the pilot. Can operate silently at hypersonic speeds, but UFOs, according to countless reports, they can do all of that. So either the US has technology far beyond anything publicly known, or these objects aren't human at all. In recent years, something changed. The US government started admitting something unusual. Military pilots began reporting encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena. Objects that outperformed advanced fighter jets had no visible propulsion. Advanced at hypersonic speeds. One pilot described it as a craft with no wings, no exhaust, and no explanation. These weren't civilians. These were trained observers, and their stories sounded eerily similar to what Bob Lazar described decades earlier. If the government did recover alien technology, could they replicate it? Some believe Area 51 has already succeeded. That hidden within classified programs are man-made UFOs, craft inspired by something not from Earth but now controlled by humans. If true, it would mean the greatest technological breakthrough in history has already happened, and the public knows nothing about it. Because if we've learned anything so far, it's this: the line between science fiction and reality is getting thinner. But technology isn't the only secret tied to Area 51, because behind every experiment, there are people, workers, scientists, insiders, and some of them have started talking. And behind the fences, beyond the warning signs, past the armed guards, are the people who actually work inside Area 51. Not theories, not rumors. Real people, scientists, engineers, security personnel. People who signed agreements so strict, breaking them could cost everything. And yet, some of them have spoken, and what they claim is deeply unsettling. Working at Area 51 isn't like any normal job. Employees don't drive themselves to work. Instead, many are flown in on unmarked planes. From a private terminal in Las Vegas, these flights are often referred to as Janet Airlines. White planes, red stripe, no logos, no explanations. Workers board, fly into the desert, and disappear into one of the most restricted locations on Earth. For hours, sometimes days, no contact with the outside world. So, what is it like inside? According to former workers, everything is compartmentalized. You don't know what other departments are doing. You don't ask questions, you only focus on your assigned task. Some described it as working in a puzzle without seeing the full picture. Security is constant. Badges, biometrics, armed patrols, even casual conversation is monitored. And one rule above all, what happens inside stays inside. Over the years, several individuals have come forward, claiming to have worked at or near Area 51. One of the earliest was Robert Bob Lazar, whose story we explored earlier. But he wasn't the only one. Another name often mentioned is David Adair. Adair claimed he was invited to a secret facility as a young engineer, where he allegedly encountered advanced propulsion systems, far beyond anything publicly known. Then there's Glenn Campbell, a civilian researcher who spent years documenting activity around the base. While not an insider, his observations helped fuel public awareness and suspicion. Each story is different, but they all point to one thing: something unusual is happening out there. Some whistleblowers go even further. They describe unidentified craft being tested underground materials that behave unlike anything on Earth. Experiments involving extreme energy sources have made even more controversial claims that workers were exposed to unknown substances, that some suffered long-term health effects, and that medical records were controlled. These claims remain unverified, but they continue to surface, again and again. Speaking out comes with consequences. Many former workers refuse to talk at all. Bound by lifelong secrecy agreements, others who did speak reported intimidation, surveillance, legal threats, loss of career opportunities. Whether these claims are true or not, one thing is certain: Area 51 operates under a level of secrecy few organizations in the world can match. Over time, stories have emerged about individuals connected to classified projects who later vanished from public view. Some say they retired quietly, others believe they knew too much. There is no confirmed evidence of foul play, but in a world where information is tightly controlled, even silence can feel suspicious. So why do people continue to work there? The answer may be simple: purpose. For many scientists and engineers, working on cutting-edge technology, even in secrecy, is the opportunity of a lifetime to push the boundaries of what's possible, to be part of something. History may never fully know, because behind every secret, there's a reason it's being kept. And the deeper we go into Area 51, the more that reason begins to change. This isn't just about aircraft. It isn't just about experiments. It's about control, information, power, and possibly contact. For decades, the United States government had a simple response to Area 51. It doesn't exist. No acknowledgement, no discussion, no explanation. But secrets don't stay buried forever, because eventually documents get leaked, files get declassified, and the truth starts to surface. The question is, how much of it is real? From the 1950s to the early 2000s, Area 51 was absent from maps. Government officials avoided the topic entirely. Even when questioned directly, they refused to confirm or deny its existence. This wasn't just secrecy, it was strategic silence. Because during the Cold War, revealing a top-secret testing facility could expose critical military advantages. So instead of telling the truth, they said nothing. Then, in 2013, everything changed. Through a Freedom of Information Act request, previously classified CIA documents were released, and for the first time ever, the government officially acknowledged Area 51 is real. The documents confirmed its location near Groom Lake, its role in testing spy aircraft, its connection to programs like the U-2, but there was a catch. The files only discussed aircraft, nothing about UFOs. Nothing about alien technology, just planes. To some, this was transparency. To others, it was only a small piece of a much bigger puzzle. Long before Area 51 was acknowledged, the U.S. Air Force was already studying UFOs, one of the most well-known programs. Project Blue Book, running from 1952 to 1969, it investigated over 12,000 UFO sightings. The conclusion, most sightings had ordinary explanations. Weather balloons, aircraft, astronomical phenomena, but not all. Hundreds of cases remained unexplained. And critics argue the program wasn't just about investigation. It was about control, controlling the narrative, reducing public panic, and keeping certain truths hidden. For years, many believed UFO research had ended. But in 2017, a major revelation changed everything. The Pentagon had been running a secret program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as AATIP, its mission, to investigate unidentified aerial phenomena. Not in the 1960s, not in the past, but in modern times. The program analyzed military pilot encounters radar data classified footage, including videos that would later be released to the public. Videos showing objects moving in ways no known aircraft can. In 2020, the U.S. Department of Defense officially released 3 videos. Captured by Navy pilots, one of the most famous, the Tic Tac encounter. Pilots described an object. Smooth, white, oval Chapino wings. No exhaust capable of instant acceleration. One pilot involved was David Fravor, a highly trained commander, not prone to exaggeration. He described the object as something not from this world, or at least not from anything we've built. The government didn't call it alien, but they also didn't explain it. They simply labeled it unidentified. In recent years, the term UFO has been replaced with UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. A more scientific, less sensational label. Government reports now openly admit there are objects in U.S. airspace that cannot be explained. Some demonstrate advanced technology. Their origins remain unknown. This is no longer conspiracy theory. This is official acknowledgement. So what does it all mean? Is the government hiding alien contact, or simply protecting national security? There are 2 possibilities. The secrecy is about advanced human technology. The secrecy is about something beyond human understanding. Both explanations lead to the same conclusion. There are things we don't know, and the government knows more than it's saying. Because if official reports now admit there are objects we cannot identify, then we have to ask, where are they coming from? Who or what is controlling them? And why are they here? In the age of the internet, secrets don't stay hidden, they spread faster than ever before. A single post, a blurry image, a leaked document. And suddenly the entire world is asking questions about Area 51, about aliens, about the truth. But here's the problem. Not everything online is real. So how do you separate fact from fiction? Before the internet, Area 51 was already mysterious. But after the internet, it became a global obsession. Forums, blogs, YouTube videos, millions of people began sharing theories, some based on research, others purely imagination. And as these ideas spread, they started to evolve, turning a secret military base into the center of one of the biggest conspiracy networks in history. One of the most controversial theories claims the U.S. government didn't just discover aliens. It made a deal with them. According to this theory, extraterrestrial beings agreed to share advanced technology in exchange for something else: access to Earth, to resources, even to humans. There is no verified evidence supporting this claim, but it continues to circulate, fueling fear and fascination alike. Another widely discussed theory suggests Area 51 isn't just what we see on the surface. Beneath it, there could be an entire underground complex, massive tunnels connecting secret facilities, hidden laboratories, even entire ecosystems. Below the desert floor, some theorists claim these tunnels stretch across states, linking multiple classified bases together. Again, no confirmed evidence. But satellite imagery, restricted zones, and unexplained construction activity keep the idea alive. Over the years, countless leaked documents have surfaced online. Some appear detailed, convincing, even official, but many have been proven to be hoaxes. Fabricated files, edited images, misinterpreted data. And yet, every now and then, something appears that no one can fully explain. Which raises a difficult question. Are all leaks fake, or are some too real to dismiss? In 2019, the mystery of Area 51 reached a whole new level. A viral Facebook event appeared online. Storm Area 51. The idea? Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. What started as a joke turned into a global phenomenon. Millions of people responded. Memes flooded the internet. And suddenly, a secret military base was at the center of pop culture. In the end, only a small number of people actually showed up. But the message was clear. Public curiosity had reached its peak. Here's the reality. The internet thrives on mystery. The more unbelievable a theory sounds, the more attention it gets, which creates a problem. Real information gets mixed with fiction. Serious investigation gets buried under entertainment. And the line between truth and imagination becomes almost impossible to see. So why do these theories persist? Because humans are curious. We want answers. We want to believe there's something more, something beyond what we understand. And when official explanations feel incomplete, people start looking elsewhere, even if the answers they find aren't proven. Because buried beneath all the noise, all the theories, all the viral moments, there's still one question that hasn't been answered. What is Area 51 really for? Not what people think, not what the internet says, but the truth. For decades, Area 51 has lived in the shadows between truth and imagination. We've explored the history, the witnesses, the technology, the theories. Now, it's time to ask the only question that matters. What is actually real? Let's start with facts, not rumors, not speculation. Confirmed truths. Area 51 exists. It's located in Nevada, near Groom Lake. It has been used for decades as a testing site for classified military aircraft. Programs like the U-2 spy plane, the A-12 reconnaissance aircraft stealth technology, all developed under extreme secrecy. This alone explains a lot. Strange lights in the sky, unusual aircraft shapes, unexplained movements. Because at the time, these technologies didn't exist publicly. But not everything fits. There are still cases where the explanations fall short. Military pilots have reported encounters with objects that outperform known aircraft. Government reports have acknowledged some aerial phenomena remain unidentified, not classified, not explained, just unknown. That doesn't automatically mean aliens, but it does mean there are gaps in our understanding. Let's revisit one of the most controversial figures, Bob Lazar. His claims are extraordinary. Alien spacecraft reverse engineering element 115, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And so far, there is no verifiable proof supporting his story, no confirmed records, no physical evidence. At the same time, some of his descriptions match modern UFO reports, which keeps the debate alive. So where does that leave us? In uncertainty, governments keep secrets. That's not unusual, especially when it comes to national security. Advanced weapons, experimental aircraft, surveillance technology. All of these require secrecy to remain effective. Area 51 isn't unique in that sense. It's just more mysterious than most, because of how long it remained hidden. Here's a possibility. What if everything we've seen, every UFO, every strange movement in the sky is human-made? Technology developed decades ahead of public knowledge, tested in secret, hidden in plain sight. History has shown us what seems impossible today becomes normal tomorrow. So maybe Area 51 isn't hiding aliens. Maybe it's hiding the future. But then again, there are questions we still can't answer. Objects with no visible propulsion, movements that defy physics, encounters that remain unexplained. If even the most advanced military can't identify these objects, then what are they? Foreign technology, unknown natural phenomena, or something else entirely? We don't know, and that uncertainty is where the mystery lives. Area 51 is more than a place. It's an idea, a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that there are things we don't fully understand. And maybe that's why it fascinates us, because it represents possibility, fear, curiosity, and the search for truth. So what is Area 51 really hiding? The honest answer is simpler than the theories, and more complex than the truth. It is a place of secrecy, of innovation, of experimentation, a place where the limits of technology are pushed far beyond what the public sees. Whether it involves alien technology or not remains unproven. But one thing is certain, the story of Area 51 is far from over, because somewhere in the Nevada desert, behind locked gates and silent skies, the next discovery may already be waiting. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at the sky and wondered one simple thing: are we alone? Area 51 didn't create that question, but it gave it a place to live, a place in the desert where mystery meets reality, and where the line between truth and belief disappears. Area 51 is just one location, one piece of a much larger puzzle, because the search for answers is happening everywhere. Scientists scanning deep space, governments tracking unknown objects, researchers analyzing signals from distant stars. This isn't just about one base anymore. It's about humanity's place in the universe. From a scientific perspective, the idea of extraterrestrial life isn't impossible. In fact, it may be likely. There are billions of galaxies, trillions of planets, countless opportunities for life to exist. Even organizations like NASA openly explore this possibility, searching for microbial life on Mars, studying distant exoplanets, looking for biosignatures in the atmosphere of faraway worlds. The universe is vast, and we've only explored a tiny fraction of it. But here asks the question that changes everything. What if we're not the ones doing the searching? What if something else already found us? Some theories suggest advanced civilizations could be millions of years ahead of us, capable of traveling across galaxies, observing Earth without being seen. If that's true, then Area 51 wouldn't be the origin of the mystery. It would be the response to it. Control. I've got something on radar. No wings, no heat signature. It's moving fast, really fast. That's not possible. It just disappeared. Stories like this have been reported for decades by trained professionals, people who understand the sky better than most, and yet even they can't explain what they've seen. In recent years, governments have become more open about unidentified aerial phenomena. Reports are being released, investigations are ongoing, public conversations are changing. Slowly, carefully, the world is moving toward something once considered impossible: disclosure, not necessarily of aliens, but of the unknown, an acknowledgement that we don't have all the answers. Even if there are secrets, there's a reason they might stay hidden. Panic, global instability, technological imbalance. Some knowledge changes everything, and not always for the better. So, if the truth about Area 51 is bigger than we imagine, it's possible we may never hear it completely. At its core, this isn't just about aliens or secret bases. It's about us, our curiosity, our fear, our need to understand. Area 51 represents something deeper, the desire to know. What lies beyond our world? So, what is Area 51 hiding? The truth? A secret? Or simply a reflection of our imagination? Maybe the real mystery isn't what's inside Area 51, but what's out there, waiting to be discovered. Because one day, whether through science, discovery, or something unexpected, humanity will find the answer. And when we do, everything will change. We are watching the sky, but maybe something is watching us too.
If you want to hear more about these kind of videos, do subscribe to the channel.